Hey guys, Dave here from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with the crew.
Ryan.
Ted.
And today we have a GM 911. Adventurers on the moon. Not in space though, but on the moon.
This is in Dragonlance. This is from viewer DSDJKK.
And so basically, you know, his inspiration is Light and Darkness. It's an old Dragonlance novel. I believe it actually features Kittiara Majir and Sturm Brightblade, and it takes place before the War of the Lands. But you know, all of that aside, what he actually wants to know: how would you go about running an adventure on the moon?
Right. Now, in Dragonlance, the moon is very different than our
Forget Dragonlance. Not even relevant.
Not even relevant. Okay.
We need to give him ideas for adventure.
So, do we want lower gravity? Is that going to be a thing?
It could be or it could not be. Like, the moon can be whatever you want to be. So, like, how did they get there? Here's my idea. They're in a temple of a moon god, right? Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason they're there, they piss him off. And maybe something happens in like the center of the temple, the shrine. You know, I even see maybe like a pyramid-like structure that actually beams them to the moon. You know, turns them into rays of moonlight, and boom, next thing you know, they're on the moon.
So that's a cool way to go. You could also have a thing wherever the setup is that, like, there's basically, like, a beam of moonlight that goes down from it, and for some reason they're cajoled to go into it, and that just beams them up.
Yeah, it's like an elevator.
Or if you don't want a whole anger the god thing.
Or you could just do like a Stargate sort of situation where it's just a gate that they figure out the mystery, or they have to pursue a villain to go to the moon for.
Or they pick up an item and they're like, what's this? And there's a flash of light, and next thing you know, you're standing on the moon.
That's right. So all those are good options.
So getting there is easy. You don't even have to do the SpellJammer thing. You can totally, come up with something different.
And then when they arrive, they suffocate to death because there's not enough oxygen.
Well,
there's no oxygen.
Adventure over.
We're in a nice fantasy world, so we're going to say that, for whatever reason, this moon has got, an atmosphere, so our players aren't just dead.
They have to moonwalk everywhere, though? That's like one of the things.
If you don't moonwalk, you take damage.
Yeah, you do. No, but, like, you could, like, when I was talking about the gravity thing, like, so you could have a thing where maybe they get elevated movement speeds, and maybe all of their sort of athletic checks and things
Lifting
like that
and stuff
would,
like that, yeah.
would be like at advantage. So advantage to like acrobatics and things like that because of the zero G sort of atmosphere.
I mean, you could do things where magic works different on the moon. There's a lot of different things, and obviously, it's real simple. Their goal, more than likely, is probably to get back from the moon.
Right.
And that's where they can find a bronze dragon in a tower, and it'll fly them back and die during re-entry. Oh, wait a minute, no. That was already a story.
Yeah, it could happen.
It could happen.
Or they could find a this old archaic, like weird, well, not even archaic, this magical device, this cylinder with the letters NASA on it.
Almost like a Kawash's apparatus.
Yeah, exactly.
But the moon version.
Yeah, they just have to figure out how to pilot that back, Yeah.
Monkeys or chimps would probably be very beneficial.
At this point.
If I'm to believe, modern day films.
Right. Yeah.
So, if we're actually giving it, an actual atmosphere, he was talking about having, vegetation, on the moon. You have to really change your whole structure of what we have as a moon.
You could treat it almost like a desert, a desert with just odd flora and fauna to it. Yeah.
Could definitely do that. You change stuff that, maybe there are, plants and animals that have, not reflectors, but essentially like energy panels that they absorb the light when it hits them, because that's going to be a bulk of their nutrients.
Solar powered cheetahs.
Solar powered cheetahs. Take it whatever direction you want.
Well, then you can have blitzhorns. Yeah. Just everywhere.
Everywhere. It's bad. It gets ugly quick.
Because if you're dealing with not as much nutrients, they're going to take whatever they can get, and if for half the day it's blasted by sun rays, take it.
Maybe they absorb the energy. Yeah. I mean, that could be one of the big issues too. Like, there's limited amounts of resources for them to. So like maybe that's the timer that denotes when the adventure is going to end if you don't find a way out. Because like your characters are going to heroically starve to death
Yeah, I mean, or it could be that like there could be food resources on this fantastical moon, but they're very scarce, like a desert, and you could have like a tribe of like hostile orcs that like one of their things is they're very judicious about maintaining population controls on the planet because they know there's like a lot to be fighting for. And
Yeah, there's not much there. I could definitely see like a druid's grove on the moon.
Yeah.
With some kind of moon druid, which might be kind of cool for an encounter. But I kind of see like the apex of this adventure is getting to the god's temple on the moon and finding like the reverse beam that sends you back.
Yeah. Or the Stargate, or the activate button on the moon bridge.
Right, or
finding the shrine and praying for forgiveness because you insulted him.
whatever the case may be.
Or hey, like maybe there's like there could be some sort of quest to the god that you have to do on the moon, like in a temple or some catacombs. Yeah.
Well, it could be too that like maybe like this is a forgotten god, right? So his power is greatly diminished, and maybe you didn't anger him, but you're the first living souls to actually wander into one of his temples, and he's like, "You guys are just the adventurers I've been looking for." Actually, they're the only adventures I've seen.
Well, what if as you said, he's a forgotten god? What if he's only forgotten on the planet, but on the moon he's got power, but he wants to bring something from the moon to the planet, like maybe some
a relic
relic holy symbol that
he's like, I need to work a miracle on your planet so people will worship me again.
The only
problem is I suck too much right now, so come up here and get the miracle for me.
Yeah, make that miracle happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it sounds a little corny, but I mean, I think from a player's perspective, essentially bringing a god back to the world would definitely be a story you'd talk about for a while.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to let them know that's what they're doing. I don't think a god would let them know that's what he's doing.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah, why they're doing it, but afterwards you can have that aha moment where, oh my god, and depending on what kind of god they are, could be like, oh my god, this is so cool, or oh my god, what the fuck?
What have we just done?
Because the whole time you're up on the moon, they're like sacrificing people night and day. Yeah.
The god in the temple, it's these pure alabaster statues of a beautiful woman, but then when you actually get the god here, it's like Cthulhu. Still beautiful, but tentacly.
This moon god is just like, if they pray to me, or if they don't pray to me, I sacrifice them. If they do pray to me, I sacrifice them.
It's multiple choice though. So I think it's easy enough, and then from there, I mean, you could make it like a typical Dungeons and Dragons adventure, or you can go. It almost gives you like license to go totally off the reservation with this one and put really silly and crazy stuff in you might not normally use.
Like
laser pistols.
Flumps.
Yes, to both actually. It might, as a one-off. It depends on your group and how well they're going to receive that, but it might be fun to experiment with this one.
Yeah, you could have like Bremerazes or something like that filtering through, going through the moon, boring through.
And there's no reason why they couldn't find a silver capsule that looks like it has crashed on the surface of the moon, and you can hold up these arcade sigils. Maybe erase some parts of them so it's harder to make out.
Yeah.
But if they really piece it together, it could really be the NASA
NASA shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted that, bring that element of sci-fi into your game, or modernism, or whatever. For a D&D game.
I recently saw a picture of an old module where the adventurer was literally walking around with a laser pistol.
Well, yeah, that's one of the early ones. What is it? Adventures of White Plume Mountain or something?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, but that's going back a long way.
Yeah, I know.
You might not even been born yet. So I guess with that, I mean, you can run this adventure absolutely. I don't know how much detail you want us to go into. I think we've kind of given you some ideas to get them there, to get them out of there. A couple of things that can happen while they're there. What more do we need to say?
Just get inspired and be creative. Do things that you aren't going to have the ability to do on your prime or the planet, whatever terminology you want to use. And it's your way to go out of the box. You can use the stats that are in here, just change the visualization and have fun with it, and your players will be like, "What the hell was that?"
Maybe resurrect some of the old, like the Ethereal Marauder and the Ethereal Filter with the Ethereal, the one that was like the pickpocket
right.
out of the
Filter.
Ether. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know to bring up filching in the middle of the video.
So, what do you guys think? Do you have any suggestions for this guy to make his awesome moon campaign take off, if you will? Put it in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You can patronize us in a good way over on patreon.com.
You can hang out on Facebook and check out funny memes.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.